May I invite all the three members of the group. We will invite them on the stage with a round of applause. I love doing that. Believe me, when somebody clapped for me first time, I was so happy and delighted I can't express. I'll be telling you that incident after some time. Now, please come to the front. Come to the front. Friends, a situation given to all the three. I do not know what is the outcome, but let us listen to them. There is no pick and choose. It is facts as they are, which reminds me of Charles Dickens' book Hard Times, where he says, facts and facts alone are wanted in life. Facts alone are wanted. Many a time as a student at IIM, you will realize facts are important to substantiate your viewpoint or your argument. Let's hear each one of them. Yes, we begin from you.
Hello. All right. The question given to us was, what is your purpose in life? So we had to define a purpose for our full group, and why this purpose? And in the long run, 5 years or 10 years down the line, how will this purpose help us or help society in general? So the purpose we defined in life was happiness, and along with this, like 2 other points that we came out was less competition and freedom to follow your dreams. Like these 3 would definitely connect to each other here. Why this purpose? Like we felt given these options, each of us would be able to enjoy our lives better, and there would be no peer pressure. We wouldn't have to follow what society tells us to follow, but we would get the chance to follow our hearts. And there would be less jealousy, less depression overall in society. And hence, in the long run, this would be beneficial for all of us.
All right. The essence of what your friend has said is happiness has to be the objective, has to be the larger picture. And this reminds me of someone who rightly says, the purpose of life must be the expansion of happiness. The purpose of life must be the expansion of happiness. All right, he has also enumerated the advantages of having this purpose, like there will be less competition, less jealousy, and they would be able to enjoy life more. Right? Over to you now.
Hello, everyone. So we were given the same task, and we came to a conclusion as a group. Self-independence is our goal for the next 5 years. So we probably will be able to hopefully complete our MBAs and establish ourselves in the industry. And as the saying goes, that charity begins at home. So we would like to first do well ourselves. That is going to help, we will be able to support our families, probably be done with our loans that we have taken. And we will be able to be in a better position to help the society after the establishment of strong establishment of financial establishment, and that's going to be, and also along with that, we have a lot of CSR activities in our firms, so we can be a part of those activities, for example, like blood donation camps and mentorship programs. So along with helping ourselves and the firm and our family, we can help the society as well in our small ways by participating in these activities.
Brilliant is the only word I would say, not more. Clap. They alone live who live for others. They alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead. The rest are more dead than alive, my friends. If your purpose does not include the purposes of others, is that purpose worth pursuing? Is the question you should be asking. And I'm happy she has also explained different CSR activities. How will those activities have ramifications on society positively? But what I loved about this group's resolution is charity begins at home. Charity begins at home. Allow me to share something that happened in my personal life. I'm sure you'd like to listen to that. I was doing my honors in English, used to be very arrogant. I was traveling by bus. There was an old man sitting next to me in tattered dress. I didn't want to see towards him. Tried to discard him. And he asked me, "Yes, young man, what do you do?" Oh, I was shocked. I never expected somebody to speak in English, and that to an old man. No, I was shocked. And then I said, "I want to do something. I want to do something." Then he asked me, "Answer my questions. What do you do?" Then I realized, okay, I said, "I'm a student." And then he said, himself a beggar, and 60 beggars at the door. Himself a beggar and 60 beggars at the door, my friend. It took 15 years for me to understand the meaning, the essence of what that old man said, my friends. Unless and until you are self-reliant, unless and until you are in a position to do something, how will you do something, my friends? That is why in one of the poems I quoted, the best lack all convictions. The best lack all convictions, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. So friends, before you set out to empower, before you set out to change society, you must change, you must be empowered yourself. Beautiful. Next.
Hello, everyone. So we were also given the same questions. And before I go over to talk about what we thought of our purpose as a group, I'd like to bring in some context. So we are here all a privileged group, an elite group of people studying at IIM. That certainly entails some responsibilities on us. So yeah, we'd like to be self-reliant, we'd like to be very happy in our lives. But doesn't that also mean that you have something that others don't have right now? And doesn't that not mean that you have the responsibility of doing something about that? So as a group, you have access to those resources and access to those channels through which you could change lives of the people of your nation. And there are very many of those people in this country. So through our courses that we have studied together, we are all very familiar with what the plight of our country is, and it's very grim, and it's not something that we'd like to see 10 years down the line. So what we can do to change about it? Okay, so the purpose in the broader context that we thought about is to look at the larger picture, to make our nation the nation of our dreams, what we really want our nation to be. So how can we do that? So we narrowed it down to health and sanitation. That is something that is affecting the whole country at a wider scale, and that's something that is completely avoidable at this point of time. It sounds very bad, but we are doing worse than third world countries are in some places. And as you'd all remember that Lifebuoy art that was a part of one of our subjects, there's a village in Andhra Pradesh where children hardly get to live up to 5 years of age. Health and sanitation, that's where we need to focus. And it's very easy to do that. And I believe that you'd all agree with me, if we were to go ahead with it, we could make a big change in our nation. So that's the purpose. I think I've also explained why we have chosen that purpose. So, and what we want to do 5 years, 10 years down the line. So, well, once you're all well placed in your life, have reached and done your ambition, I'd like to ask you to all come back and contribute to this common cause. There's plenty of ways that we can go about it. Setting up an NGO, aggregating NGOs, contributing to funds, whatever capacity you think you can. And you can spread this message to your friends as well. Thank you.
All right, let's give a round of applause. And I can just summarize all the beautiful thoughts and ideas through these lines. बैठा हुआ था सोच में, हैरान बहुत था. बैठा हुआ था सोच में, परेशान बहुत था. जब चल पड़ा तो रास्ता आसान बहुत था. जब चल पड़ा तो रास्ता आसान बहुत था. Thank you very much. You can go back now. Wonderful. You can all see a pattern in the ideas that came from all the three groups. And the pattern is, there is a desire, rather an overwhelming desire among all of us to do good to people, to do good to society. That is one pattern, and that is one commonality that we can find Yes or no? That's one point. Point number 2. They also express the need to be self-reliant. Point number 3, especially the last speaker, had a sense of pride. I won't call it arrogance. It is a sense of pride. You have to have a legitimate pride. You have to have a legitimate pride, my friend. The best thing that can happen ever in your life, the best thing that can ever happen in your life is to rise in your own eyes. The best thing that can ever happen in your life is to rise in your own eyes. And the worst thing that can ever happen in your life is to fall in your own eyes. Choice is yours, whether you want to rise. I'm not talking about rising or falling in someone else's eyes, because we have no control. We have no control over others, but we do have control over ourselves.